Joining us in the studio to dissect more on the Heads of Mission Conference is veteran diplomat, Ambassador Tuliameni Kalomoh. Ambassador, thank you for coming in.
Thank you very much, Blanche.
Always a pleasure to engage you where international relations are concerned, Ambassador. But we've just listened to the President as well as the International Relations Minister, both of them urging the diplomats to defend the country or put the country's interest first, and also to negotiate better agreements that would have an impact, positive impact on the quality of life of Namibians. So in this case, what do you make of a calls like that, Ambassador, in this day and age?
Well, those calls are very pertinent. First, the call from the President constitutes the policy to be pursued by ambassadors and high commissioners at the post. That policy is reinforced by the call by the Minister of International Relations and the cooperation. That means the ambassadors are given marching orders to go and carry out, implement the policy of promoting the national interest of Namibia. And national interest of Namibia means economic interest, security interest, and economic interest through promoting Namibian products, trade with other countries. And therefore, the heads of mission meeting, which takes place biannually, is very important in renewing the mandate of the ambassadors, updating them on the economic development of the country, the challenges we face, and giving a new charge about how to reinforce relationship between Namibia and the countries to which they are accredited.
Now, Ambassador, this meeting is also taking place at a time whereby, if I'm to again quote the President, that there is a demand for a fair multilateralism, and as well as the trends in the geopolitical space. Most of the countries involved, some of the countries involved in conflicts are friends of Namibia, or countries that Namibia has sound bilateral ties with, and also on the same page when it comes to international multilateral platforms. So in this case, Ambassador, should Namibia tread carefully in terms of making policy pronouncements or reviewing its foreign policy?
Now, thank you very much for the question. Now, first of all, international multilateralism is fundamentally unfair to developing countries. Unfair because they were created when none of, or at least most of developing countries were under colonialism. And right now, the people who spearheaded the construction, the formation of the international system have protected their economic security and strategic interests within the multilateral system. Namibia should, in defending our national interest, in upholding our values and our principles, we should obviously consider always the best interest of Namibia.
Now, Ambassador, Namibia has about 35 missions abroad, and probably it would be difficult for one to trace their performance, or line ministries to trace their performance. So in this case, do you think that there is a need to improve the reporting lines? I've been out of the service for a long time now, but as a matter of human nature, we always need to improve. I wouldn't say that their reporting system, the frequency, the quality is adequate, but I cannot make a judgment on that except to say that there is always room for improvement. So I believe that, and we are living in a rapidly changing international environment.
So we need to improve and adapt ourselves to that changing international environment, and therefore the need for constant improvement in order for us really to identify our competitive advantages, in order to promote those competitive advantages and find a niche for Namibia products, whether cultural, whether whatever products we find. You know, when you're in Switzerland, you know that these people make cheese and chocolates. So we must find a niche in our march towards industrialization.
And just lastly, Ambassador, Namibia last reviewed its foreign policy about 5 years ago. So under what circumstances does one need to review the policy?
The circumstances obviously will dictate the kind of change that you will introduce. Now, 5 years ago, we were still under the unipolar dominance of the international scene, although we still had the emergence at that time. BRICS had emerged as a countervailing force economically and strategically. And now we see that 6 more countries have been admitted to BRICS. That would countervail the dominance of Western countries,
Western bloc,
led by the United States. Therefore, this dominance, this arrogant dominance of international institutions by unipolar power is being challenged, and that is good for developing countries.
Right, then, well, thank you so much, Ambassador, for coming in.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ambassador. Well, veteran diplomat Tuliameni Kalomoh giving an overview of the day 1 of the 9th session of the Heads of Mission Conference that's underway in Windhoek.